Hello everybody, my name is Mike Tomorrow and I want to welcome you to the latest episode of My Life with Asperger's. Today's episode, I'm going to go back a little bit because I know that the last video I did was talking about my childhood and when I grew up and the difficulties of living my childhood when I was growing up. I know that the last video got mixed reviews. I just want to apologize to the people that may not enjoyed the last video. I needed to clear something up with you. I needed to do that video, or I needed to do a video talking about my childhood, because in a way, all the parents that have children on the spectrum now can learn from me. That's what this video series is all about, and for other adults to learn from me too. It's difficult growing up not knowing what you have. It's hard. My parents had to deal with me growing up and they couldn't figure out what was going on with me. You know, it took them 22 years of my life and their life to figure out what was wrong with me. And to finally put a diagnosis with it, I'm so happy, you know. But just to be clear on that, like I said in my last video, I did have a difficult time in my childhood. And I felt that I still do, you know. I felt that, you know, when I was growing up, like, I didn't really have that many friends, you know. I felt also that my parents didn't teach me that much. It's like, I wanted to have friends, and I wanted to have a girlfriend and all that, you know. And it's like, what am I supposed to be taught that in my life? You know, I never got to learn the proper way of meeting new friends, you know? It's like, I was thrown in, needing to know everything on my own. It's like, I was never taught how to make friends. I was never taught how to get a girlfriend. I never was taught how relationships should go. It's like I'm thrown under the bus because I don't know the tips, and I try to get them, and yet nobody cares. Nobody seems to know. You know, I grew up not knowing what I had. I grew up alone. You know, well, I had all my friends, I had all my family and camping club people and all that surround me, but still, I felt when I was growing up, I grew up by myself because I didn't know what I had. And talking about my childhood is real difficult for me because I know that there's other people out there that went through the same experiences I had. And learning about my childhood, it's like when I'm not connected with any friends from like school, you know, I know this past week that I spent some time with my mom and dad, and that was one of the topics that we discussed about, was about the video I did, my last video. And I know that it's been real hard. My life has been real hard. You know? I just wish I had the tools with me. It seems like I grew up without knowing the tools of my life. Like how to meet new friends, how to get new friends, how to get a life, you know? It was hard on me. It was hard on my parents too, you know? I feel sorry, but at the same time, I felt, I felt alone. I didn't want to be alone in my life. I really, I really needed some company. I'm living alone right now. I wish I had a girlfriend or a wife with me. I wish I had someone for me, personally. But I can't because I don't know how to get the right person. I don't know how to get the right girl in my life. And no one seems to care to help me. I'm sorry if I'm seem upset, but at the same time, I need to address this issue. Because if I don't, then what else is there? Just the other day, one of my ex-friends celebrated their 30th birthday. It was one of my childhood classmates that celebrated the 30th birthday. I couldn't enjoy it because we're no longer pals. We're no longer friends. It's been like this for almost 5 years. I wanted to celebrate this, and I couldn't get it out of my mind. And yet, it's like I've been trying to move on from it, and it seems like it can't, because it comes back to me. Every single time that birthday comes up, it seems like I want to celebrate it. I want to celebrate. And I know I cannot anymore. Because we're not friends anymore. That broke my heart, I feel sorry for what happened. But and I felt this friend that I had was a good childhood connection with me. Because we experienced the same thing we did when we went to school together. This friend of mine was like the last piece I had from it, and it was taken away from me 5 years ago. I know I'm a little upset about it, but I'm trying to move on. But anyways, I feel sorry that I did have to talk about my childhood, because if I don't talk about it, then, then how am I going to reach out to the other parents? It's like, I need to talk to someone, yes. I'm glad I have friends now. I just wish for a girlfriend, It's hard for me to come up to a girlfriend, or to come up to a girl and ask her out. I think I have a crush on like 2 or 3 girls in my life down here. And it's hard for me to ask them, do you want to go out with me? I can't tell you who they are. I cannot tell you where I met them. But understand this. I cannot say it because I don't want to have their identities known. And if I did, it'd be like, oh my God, it'd be like crazy. I don't want to do that to anybody. And I don't want to lose any friends because of it either. So those identities are going to be kept secret. Alright? And, I feel that I know that the groups I belong to, the Asperger social groups I belong to, they help me, but I feel that they also don't help me enough. I do enjoy meeting other people that are on the spectrum, and I can learn from them too, and they can learn from me. But at the same time, I feel that I'm so alone in this world. I think everybody that has Asperger's feels alone in this world. That's how I felt during my childhood. Even though I didn't know I had the Asperger's until I was 22 years old, I still felt I was alone in this world. Because I still feel it, because it's like hard for me to approach people sometimes, you know? I really want to have good friends, and I do have good friends. And I want to have a girlfriend and a wife someday. And that's been real hard on me, you know? And I'm still trying to find that good job for me, too. You know, does my autistic feelings get in the way of getting a new job? Does it get in the way of me having a girlfriend? Or a wife, actually? Does it get in the way of me making new friends? Does it, does it get in the way of my life? That's the question I want to know. Does these all get in the way of my life? Does Asperger's get in the way of my life? You know, my childhood, I know I was alone, and I felt alone, but yet I felt I should have gotten the help I needed. I felt I should have gotten the help from my parents. I felt I should have gotten the help that I needed from my teachers. I felt I should have gotten the help that I needed from my camping club friends. I felt I should have gotten the help that I needed from like the camp counselors and all the other people that have been a part of my life. You know? Because sometimes it feels like I'm alone. I'm drowning in a lake or an ocean or something, and no one wants to help save me, you know? I know it's been hard, but understand this. I'm trying my best to live the best life that I can. And I know that having a childhood like I did haunts me in the past, haunts me in the future sometimes. Yes. It does. Trust me. Things that I have done in the past do haunt me in the future. And it probably does it to everybody else too, so, you know. There's been some things that I've had to keep secret from everybody. I know I'm trying to express myself out there, but at the same time, nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to listen. And nobody wants to help, you know. I do try to ask for help as much as I can. And some people think I'm annoying. I know that I don't think that, but I think I do feel that. I think I am annoying at times. And people just don't understand what I go through on a daily life. You know, I do enjoy doing these videos because I do enjoy teaching all the parents that are on the spectrum and all the adults that are on the spectrum. And I want to teach them what I go through in my life. I know that their children may not go through the same things that I do. They may, you know. You never know, right? But at the same time, you know, I want to teach my friends also, my coworkers, my managers, my parents, my family, my other camping club friends and all that. I want to teach everybody that I know that this is Asperger's syndrome. This is something that will never go away from me. I know they may wish that, but it's never going to go. It will never disappear. It's something I was born with. I know it took me 22 years before I could get a diagnosis on it, but at the same time, it's something I have to live with. And you got to understand that. I may feel uncomfortable with things that go on in this world. And you got to understand that I'm not going to be perfect at everything that you tell me to do or everything that you teach me. You know, I may not go to school anymore, but I still learn on a daily basis, whether it's at my job or at church or from my parents. I still get lessons from them, yeah, but you know, or the earth around me and the world around me, you know, I still learn. You know, it's tough, but You know, just this past week I was upset at work. And I know I felt childish by doing this. But I'm going to explain it on here. I'm going to leave all the names out. But, you know, but one of the times I was at work, right? I just went to use the restroom. And then when I got out of the restroom, I went in to get more towels for the tables and all that. And one of the leaders said hi to me. I was not in the mood to talk to anybody at that point. So, you know, I went into the, I went over to fill up my squirt bottle for the tables, the chemical they put in it. And the leader was trying to ask me, is everything okay? Is everything okay? And I'm like, I didn't want to discuss about it, you know? And then I repeated to him, like, well, or well, then they asked me, is this work good? And I just say, I didn't want to discuss that. And then I zoomed right out of the kitchen, back to where I was. You know, I know that things like that frustrate me. And I feel sorry I cannot discuss things like that to people. It's hard for me to discuss my life with them. People just don't understand what I go through. I know it was an issue at work, and it involved me working upstairs. I know that you probably heard me say on a past video that I do not enjoy working upstairs. I'm going to say this again. Hopefully more people will understand me. Hopefully more people are watching my videos. And hopefully more people are going to listen to me. The reason why I do not like working upstairs is because it's too loud where I am. All the noises echo from the arcade games down below. They go up the stairs. And they go up, 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 up. The sound does. And the arcade games are too loud. The music in the background, too loud. And then, you know, and then you have the space that you work in. Upstairs, it's too tight. You know, I'm like frustrated because they put me up there. I don't enjoy working that environment, you know. I know it may sound strange to some people because it's probably one of the best places to work because you don't have to worry about going outside into the heat and all that. To me, I do not like working up that upstairs level of the restaurant because of the sound and the music and too tight of a space, you know. You know, I don't know what's going on, but I just don't like how it was involved. I don't like working up there. And it's hard for me to tell people that, repeat and repeat and repeat, telling people I cannot work up there, I cannot work up there because of my condition. I know it's not just my condition, but, you know, I'm like my mom in some ways because I get anxiety attacks, and if you put me, like, up there, you know, my stress level is going to build. I'm going to get high blood pressure. I already had a couple of members of my family die because they got high blood pressure and stressed out, you know, and they got a heart attack and died, you know. I don't want that to happen to me. I'm 28 years old. I cannot live that kind of a life. You know, I cannot be stressed out. I cannot live to die, you know. I know that I may never be a teacher either because of that. I can't stand the children yelling and screaming all the time, you know. But if I do work in a school environment, yeah, I'm going to have to learn that. But I only have to deal with it for 3-4 hours a day, and that's it. You know? I don't have to deal with it like I do at my current job, you know? But anyways, and there's less people, obviously, in a school setting than there is in a restaurant setting. So hopefully that'll work out towards my advantage if I ever do get a job in a school setting. And I did give a resume to one of my friends that works at a school for autism. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll be a teaching assistant and everything will be okay, you know? Because of my experience with Autism Speaks and autism awareness, you know? They do need to hire people that are on the spectrum too. Because they understand what people on the spectrum understand what's going on with the people that the other people, the kids that are on the spectrum as well. They understand what's going on, you know? But anyways, I know I'm dragging on about my life here, but that's the way life goes. I'm sorry, but, you know? I do hope that someday somebody will look at me and tell me that I'm a great guy and I'm going to get a great job and I'll, enjoy my life better. And I try to work my hardest to get that done, you know? But, anyways, I know that I came a long way since my childhood. You know, growing up in the environment that I did, growing up in the lifestyle that I did, growing up in the schools that I went to, the teachers that I had, the other classmates that were in my classes. You know, I know I cannot change the history. I know I cannot change the past. But I try to look at it as a tool to help me towards the future. You know, I